The sound of Leo Vargess's footsteps echoed through the vast marble hallways of his coastal mansion. But what truly echoed inside him was something darker, an ache he could no longer ignore. The world knew him as a billionaire entrepreneur, a golden success story, who conquered industries before most people even learned how to dream. But behind the polished articles and glowing interviews was a man who no longer trusted anyone's intentions. Betrayals had come at him like tidal waves, each one stronger than the last business partners who stabbed him in the back. Friends who sold private stories to tabloids, and relationships that dissolved the moment he stopped spending. The final blow came when a woman he thought he would marry admitted she loved the lifestyle, not him. That morning, staring across the sunlit infinity pool that stretched toward the horizon, Leo made a decision that, even he wasn't sure he understood yet, he would test the hearts of 4 people who claimed to care about him. And he would do it with the one thing that had always clouded his relationships: money. Before we go deeper into this emotional journey, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that show the true power of the human heart, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel Kindness Spark. Your support helps these real feeling stories reach more people. The sun was high and bright, casting clear daylight across the courtyard as Leo placed 4 identical black credit cards on his grand dining table. They looked small compared to the massive surface of polished oak, but the weight they carried could topple mountains. Each card had no spending limit. Each card symbolized trust, or perhaps temptation. The 4 women: Hazel, a glamorous model; Rhea, a real estate consultant; Celine, a socialite; and Mara, his quiet live-in maid, had no idea a test was coming. He chose them because in different ways they had each expressed care or loyalty toward him. Hazel often texted him sweet check-ins. Rhea frequently offered to help without taking a commission. Celine always praised him publicly as her closest friend. And Mara, well, Mara had been with him for 8 years, keeping his home spotless and his life quietly supported in ways no one ever noticed. When Leo gathered them in the sunlit lounge, the atmosphere was warm and bright, but a thread of tension knotted through the air. The coastal breeze drifted through the open glass doors, carrying the faint scent of salt water as the 4 women glanced at each other in confusion. Leo explained that he wanted to do something different, something generous. He handed each of them a card and told them they could buy anything they wanted for 1 full day. No limits, no question. The rules were simple: spend freely, enjoy the day, and return by sunset. The women exchanged wide-eyed looks as he stepped back, giving them space. They left the mansion with quick footsteps, hearts racing for different reasons. Hazel left first, rushing into her sleek convertible. Her excitement was obvious, almost electric. She had always talked about the finer things in life: the new collection of designer handbags, exclusive jewelry drops, luxury skincare line. Her laughter echoed down the driveway as she sped away under the bright daylight sky. Rhea walked more calmly but with determination. She had ambition, always calculating her next move. Her mind raced with possibilities: upscale furniture collections, new appliances, perhaps even investments. She claimed it was all for improving her home, but Leo had always sensed something sharper beneath her careful smiles. Celine, dressed in meticulously chosen pastel tones, left with the demeanor of someone stepping into a spotlight. Known for flaunting luxuries on social media, she already pictured the photos she would post, captioned with something about generosity, blessings, or gratitude. But Leo had known her long enough to recognize when her smile didn't reach her eyes. Mara was the last to leave, walking out the gate slowly, quietly, with the plain canvas tote bag she always used. Her car wasn't a sports model, it was an old compact sedan that rattled slightly when it started. She didn't rush, she didn't squeal with excitement. She simply nodded and drove off into the bright, calm daytime streets. Leo spent the day pacing alone in his garden, the sunlight reflecting off the still pond as he questioned everything. Was this test cruel? Was it foolish? Or was it finally the only way to see who loved him without the mask of wealth distorting the truth? The afternoon sun moved gently across the sky, casting long shadows on the manicured lawn, and by the time evening began to color the horizon, the tension inside him had tightened into something nearly unbearable. Hazel returned first, the trunk of her car filled with high-end designer bags, shoes, perfume, expensive dresses, things she admitted she had always wanted but could never justify buying. She placed them on the dining table, smiling brightly, and when Leo asked if she bought anything for someone else, she shook her head with a carefree laugh. "You said anything, right? So I treated myself." Her voice was confident, unaware of the subtle disappointment flickering behind his expression. Rhea was next, arriving with boxes that filled half the foyer. She had purchased premium furniture, rare decor, and expensive imported items. She explained that it was all for her apartment, a space she claimed needed improvement. She added that she considered buying something for Leo, but since he already had everything, she decided not to. Her tone was polite, but the words were sharp in their convenience. Celine returned third, exiting a luxury car she had rented with the card. The back seat was crammed with bags from boutiques she frequented. She proudly announced that she bought items to sponsor an upcoming event. She was hosting an event she was sure Leo would attend. When he asked if she bought anything specifically for him or anyone in need, she brushed it off with a laugh, saying she had different priorities today. 3 cards, 3 choices that confirmed every fear Leo had about the people surrounding him. He sat at the dining table, the sunset pouring warm gold through the tall window, but the glow did nothing to soften the heaviness forming in his chest. Perhaps he was truly alone. Perhaps money had wrapped his life so tightly that no one could see him just what he could offer. Mara arrived last, stepping quietly into the mansion just as the sky shifted fully into soft evening. She held only one small paper shopping bag. No trunk full of luxury, no piles of boxes, just one simple bag. Leo braced himself for disappointment, preparing for whatever excuse she might offer. But when Mara handed the small bag to him, her hands trembled ever so slightly. Inside,